I talk loud anyway. Alright, it hasn't come up yet. Oh, there. Alright, what do I need to do that I do this? Right.
View presentation mode, Jared.
Presentation mode?
Yeah, under view.
Under you.
Two up from where you are now.
Oh.
And then do command minus until it fits.
Okay. Let me see if I'm good over here too. Ah, get out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to talk about WebSockets in Go. Does anyone use WebSockets? Oh, good. It's something that I'm just starting to kind of research and going to get into, so it's kind of fun to play with it in a Go environment versus maybe just JavaScript only or whatever. Here's the code where I have it just in my GitHub and Go presentations. There is a Go client that I'll be running later if you want to grab it, and we'll play with it in a second, or not, doesn't matter, but that's where it will be. Okay, so just to kind of go through, a lot of this stuff I've kind of grabbed from examples that I'm using. I'm using the Gorilla WebSockets package versus maybe the one for Golang and the X package or whatever they call that. Anyway, so here we're going to talk about doing a chat server. So a hub is going to be kind of the main struct where I'm going to collect all the connections that are collecting into it, and then when I get a message, I'm going to be able to broadcast it to all the nodes that are connected. What ends up running here for the hub is this piece of code here: register connection, unregister, and then broadcast. So end up when we get a message incoming, we broadcast it out, and then we just loop through the connections. So nothing too fancy there. Each connection would have a reader and then a writer in a second we'll look at. And for the most part, it's just reading the message on a for loop and then going to broadcast the message out in a simple struct that I call message here with a from and then the message body. The writer here got chopped just at the bottom, but we're really not missing anything. So in this case, it's from the broadcast. It gets the message on the send channel, and then from here, I added in kind of that middle piece, a whole bunch of kind of stuff to make it look kind of nice. And I spent probably too much time that wasn't worth it, and I should have just broadcasted a simple line. But anyway, there's some ugliness there, but ultimately at the bottom there, we're going to do the right message from the Gorilla package to the client or the node that's connected in. Ultimately, what happens when you're creating that connection, the request, you're going to do an upgrade to that connection, which the upgrader that I'm choosing for this particular case, I just had to change the check origin to just to always allow, because my client, I don't care about what origin is coming from or whatever. Those are some of the defaults that, anyway, they're in the Gorilla WebSocket package that I just did away with. And then the code at the bottom there is what you'll end up doing. It's actually done here in the serve HTTP function of your handler. So that's done at the top. That's when the request is hijacked and changed to a WebSocket connection where it's upgraded, and then you just continue that talking. So then the bottom section there is just creating the connection, sending it to the hub, or registering it to the hub, and then the Go, the Go routine of the writer, and so that will just continue to run, and the reader we already looked at, but the reader there is just a for loop. They're continuing to read off of the WebSocket. Oh, let me start the server. Sorry. Okay, so anyone can come here, unless my IP changed. If you're connected on Wi-Fi, go ahead and we'll play around. Go to that web address, and we all can play with this simple chat server. Is it working at all, anyone?
Which Wi-Fi is it?
On the Go Wi-Fi. And
Password?
it's Gophers Anon. So this is running just in an iframe here. So we're using a JavaScript client on the Go server of the code that we just looked at. So anyway, this is just an example here. And again, I probably put too much time in this very ugly interface, but just kind of something fun to play with. I'm going to leave my server running as we look at some other pieces. So feel free to continue to play with that. Let's see. On the client side, for the Go client, it's really simple as well. Basically, in my main function, I'm going to make a dialer. Some of this comes from flags, but ultimately I'm giving it the location I'm dialing into. And then in this case, I decided to just make Go routines, reading messages, writing messages. We'll look at those right now. And then I wait off of a signal, or the channel that I'm making there is also to see if the connection closed from the WebSocket server. Writing messages here, basically I'm just for looping. This will be reading off of the standard in, and then basically it's just writing the message. So kind of a little weird because I'm saying write messages, which it has to do with this, even though I'm reading off of standard in, but it's a writer in my mind, I guess. Reader is just reading the messages coming from the WebSocket and then printing it to the screen. So nothing too fancy there. Oh, sorry. So going over to the client side. So now I'm here on running the Go WebSocket client. I didn't do anything fancy like that. Anyway, so here we are having this, and since I'm surprised that worked. I don't. So anyway, right. Where am I? And that's all I got. So any questions or? Great. Oh yeah.
What benefits do you know the differences between the Gorilla WebSocket and like the Golang XR?
So when I was looking at it, I don't really know. As far as what I was looking at it, for me, I found it easier to use because I was familiar with the normal handler, and being able to put in the Gorilla part here and then just do whatever I wanted to do, whether it's just doing a for loop of reading the messages or whatever. I found that easier for me to understand. The Golang one was kind of an abstraction, at least for me, in that now you're working with this connection object instead of like a handler. So that's kind of my thought with that.
It's much more low level, if I remember right. Like it's more to the bones.
The gorilla one is?
No,
Go
the
line.
Go line.
Oh, the Go line.
It's-
The gorilla does for you what you want,
Oh,
Yeah.
so you don't have to like worry about it.
You don't have to like learn the.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
quite simple.
Do you know how much memory each connection is taking, or how much load?
I haven't looked into that. That's something definitely I'm looking into. Does anyone else have an answer for that? How the memory works on the server with the connections, or
Um,
no answer, I guess.
Not very much.
Okay. All right, thanks.